All right, don't mind the look right now. It is currently 1:30 in the morning. I'm tired. I've got a migraine, but I wanted to make this video now because I got things to do during the day tomorrow. So I gotta put this out, or at least film it now. So don't mind the attire. We're just gonna do this and get to bed soon. By the way, I want to show you guys something. We got the draft hat for the 2025 NFL draft. This thing is an absolute beauty. Oh, just look at it in beautiful condition. Obviously, I just got it out the box today, and check it out, guys. Got the pin here. Let me see if I can take that out. Ow, full. Alright, I think I poked myself with the damn pin. Alright. Check it out, guys. It's a subway train. That's the pin. You could obviously put it anywhere you want on the hat. I'm just going to stick it in the same hole as before. But this thing is beautiful. I had to grab it. Maybe we'll rock with this for the whole show. I look kind of stupid, but bro, I am deliriously tired, so I don't care. So, if you guys are enjoying the video, make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe for more content just like this or something like this. But listen here. We are going to review Matt Miller of ESPN, NFL Draft Scout is what he called himself on his social media. Matt Miller's 7-round mock draft for the New York Giants. Now, he did a 7-round mock draft in total. Like, the guy is absolutely insane. And so we're just going to cover the New York Giants part of it. Now, I can't see every single pick that was made prior to, so it's hard to really gauge who was available because I don't have ESPN Plus, and I ain't paying for that shit for mock drafts. I'm just not doing it. So we're just going to look on the New York Giants website. It's going to be a blind reaction. I want to react with you guys with these picks. Keep in mind, I probably do not know all prospects in this draft, so there's going to be guys that I don't know that may be picked, but it's the principle of it, the position, the round. Let's get into it. All right, so here we are. I think it looks good on OBS for right now. I don't know how the layout is, so let's see. Let's just like go slowly here, I guess. Let's move down here. So after projecting Cam Ward to the Titans, all right, Cam Ward to the Titans, the Browns selecting Abdul Carter. So they go Shedeur Sanders out of Colorado. Okay, yeah. I mean, listen, I know a lot of people are gonna have that. Like I said, here's the thing. I said this on my live stream. If you guys didn't check that out, I was with Kush. And he popped out, and we were able to talk about Shedeur Sanders for the most part. You guys know I'm not a fan of Shedeur Sanders with the 3rd overall pick. I'm a fan of Shedeur Sanders, just not with the 3rd overall pick. There is a value difference. I heard a lot of arguments on Twitter talking about, well, if you're willing to trade back up into the 1st round for him, you should be willing to take him with the 3rd overall pick. That probably makes the least amount of sense I've ever heard in the draft take in my entire life. Because when you don't draft Shedeur Sanders with the 3rd overall pick, you get a player that is worth the 3rd overall pick. And if Shedeur Sanders were to fall, look at that. You get to trade back up into the 1st round and get 2 players in the 1st round. And one of them you were definitely not going to be able to get. Like in this case, it would have been Travis Hunter. And on top of that, I would have loved to get Shedeur Sanders to pair up with Travis Hunter because it's a force multiplier in itself. So that's why that's kind of been my agenda right now. That and trading up for Cam Ward. But Shedeur Sanders with a number 3 overall pick. I've said this before that if they still select Shedeur Sanders, even though they have Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston, this honestly is going to give me more confidence in the Shedeur Sanders pick. That means they really like him because I was afraid that we're going to go into the draft with just Jameis Winston, or before that, I didn't even know who we're going to have, and we're just going to force a quarterback pick because we need a quarterback. And if more often than not, that just doesn't work. So I like that the Giants filled out that position so that if they don't want to go quarterback in the 1st round, they don't necessarily have to in this year. I don't think them making the playoffs is a is something that they have to do this season in order to keep their job. So Shedeur Sanders, quarterback, number 3 overall. All right, let's move on here. It looks like the format is going to be kind of weird. Yeah, it's just going to be all together. All right, so with the 34th overall pick, the Giants select Emeka Egbuka out of Ohio State. This is a bad pick, in my opinion. Now, Emeka Egbuka falling to the second round is something I'm seeing a lot more often now. However, what do the Giants need with Emeka Egbuka? I mean, the Giants already have, you got Malik Neighbors. That's fine. It's always good to have wide receiver depth, or it's always good to have depth at every spot. I just don't think wide receiver is something that you attack in the first 3 rounds of this draft. For the Giants in particular, there are some talented receivers like Emeka Egbuka, but I feel like Egbuka is more of a slot player, and I know that's such a cliche thing to say about him because that's like the first thing people say about him, but he's like a chain mover, he's a guy that's like Puka Nacua, he's a guy that's gonna run those option routes, run those choice routes, and find soft spots in the zone. Yeah, he could make a couple big plays or two and has good hands, able to get downfield pretty nicely, but he's a slot option. The Giants love Wan'Dale Robinson. They love the hell out of him. They are like forcing him the ball. You got Malik Neighbors. You re-signed Darius Slayton. It just seems like it doesn't make much sense to me. Yes, you're going to have depth at the wide receiver position, but how much is Egbuka really going to contribute? Unless you're really planning to wane off of Wan'Dale Robinson, this would make sense, but I just think there's other pressing needs right now. But he's a good player. Going offensive heavy with Shedeur and Emeka Egbuka, it's hard to be mad at it. I just don't know if it's necessary. So that's my take on it. He's a technician with enough speed to run away from defenders with the ball in his hands. He does run block pretty well, from what I've seen. But he's going to be a bigger Wan'Dale Robinson is what you're doing. So I think you're taking Emeka Egbuka this high, or taking a wide receiver this high to wane off of Wan'Dale Robinson, which could make sense because this is going into his last year of his deal. Oh, baby. I love this. Darius Alexander out of Toledo dropping to 65. My goodness, if this happens, A+. If this happens, A+. Darius Alexander is somebody that I would like the Giants to target with the 34th overall pick. For you to get him at 65, I love this here. Giants switch to defense here, identifying five technique prospect who shine at the Senior Bowl. Alexander with 4.95 speed. He wasn't necessarily a 5 tech. I mean, you can put him at 5 tech, in that 3-4. It's not like the Giants run a lot of base 3-4. We ran it a little bit more with the Shane Bowen, but he's still a 3 tech guy. I mean, you could put him at 5 technique, but he's just a mismatch at the 3 because he's so slick. He's so slender, slick, on the interior, and he's able to move inside pretty well. He really messes up zone running. He really messes up the flow in zone running on the interior. I really like Darius Alexander. Yeah, he's not all there as far as sacks go. Usually, we're seeing interior defensive linemen get 7-8 sacks now, like the top tier ones are just getting that more often now. So it's kind of crazy how much more athletic defensive tackles are getting, but he doesn't need to force that. I just want a guy that's going to add more pass rush and help out in the run with Dexter Lawrence. I think Darius Alexander is a perfect fit for us. If the Giants can get him at 65, woo! I will love that Emeka Egbuka pick a lot more because I would have chose Darius Alexander at 34 over Emeka Egbuka. So if you can still find a way to get him, all the power to you. All right, Barrett Carter, linebacker out of Clemson. Here we're going into the range. I have done little to no evaluating on linebacker because we already have my glorious king, Micah McFadden. Why would we ever wane off of Micah McFadden? I don't know. He needs to stay here and retire a Giant. That is Luke Kuechly Jr., along with Bobby Okereke, who had an off year, but it's still Bobby Okereke. And how about one of the greatest rookies to ever do it, Darius Muasau, who had the first interception for the Giants. So Barrett Carter, I guess he's an off-ball guy. Carter has been a 3-down playmaker for the Titans for the past 3 seasons, compiling 12.5 sacks, 3 interceptions. All right, I mean, I don't know too much about him, but, you know, if you want to go ahead and add some depth for inside linebacker, go ahead. Interesting how, I mean, I guess first 4 picks, no edge rusher, no interior offensive lineman or offensive lineman in general. Interesting that we're going linebacker here, but you know, I'll keep going. Oh, so now we're not. Oh, all right, so all right, let's just spoil the rest of this pick, guys. Let's just spoil the rest of this. All right. Ooh, Brashard Smith. The thing is with Brashard Smith, I had Xavier Truss going in one of my like mock drafts I did on live stream before. Was it live stream or it was in a different scenario for a different video? Brashard Smith I like. It's just that he's too much of what we already have with Tyrone Tracy and Devin Singletary. I want a guy that's going to be a power back, a guy that can get those tough yards on the in between the tackles that we don't necessarily need to put, you know, a 5'8" Devin Singletary and like a 5'10" Tyrone Tracy in there. You know what I mean? I'm looking for like a 6'1", 6'2", 220 pound back. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Brashard Smith is just not that. It says here that he is 5'10", 196. You guys can see his stats here. Had a lot of, listen, he has good stats. Like, I like Brashard Smith. I love he's very quick, twitchy. You guys know how I am with running backs, man. I love the running back position. It's my favorite position. I like watching the kid. I didn't do an in-depth film study on him. I just know of him. I like him a lot. He's just too much of what we already have. I'm looking for somebody bigger. Okay, I'm looking for some 5'10", 196 is like just about what the Giants have at running back as a whole. All right, I wanted to go into Barrett Carter, 6'1", 230, because I don't know too much about him. Want to do my due diligence on him. While he needs to get stronger. Let me see here. Good instincts in zone coverage, reads quarterbacks well, can make plays on the football, has range and athleticism to succeed in coverage. So he seems like a coverage off-ball linebacker, so someone that could play like a weak side role or like something like what Micah McFadden would play. Smart player diagnosis. Oh, or maybe he's just a straight up inside linebacker, like alpha inside linebacker is. His comparison is to Henry To'o. Undersized, height is in the 11th percentile. All right, so we're like talking Micah McFadden here. Now, Micah McFadden is much better against the run, but he is undersized. He can move pretty well. Diagnoses runs very nicely, but needs to work on like his pass coverage. Micah McFadden doesn't really have tackling issues. I don't know. He seems all right. Weak side linebacker. That's exactly what I said in the beginning. As a weak side, if you're good at coverage as an off-ball linebacker, you're gonna stick your ass on the weak side. All right, so let's look at the other picks that were made there. All right, so 105, Braden Swinson, edge out of LSU. I'm sorry, Diggy. I don't know who that. I don't know who this guy is. 9 sacks, 2 in 2023. So he played a lot of college football, but he got progressively better in every single season. He got dramatically better in every season. 9 sacks. Hurries 43. Look at this. So we're talking a guy that's an ascending player. He played outside the time, so he's a pure edge rusher. Let's look at his height and weight. 6'4", 250. All right, so we're toting the line right there with like a 3-4 edge, you know. Let's look at some analysis here. Arm length seems to be a plus. I would look at Broshmo's thing on live here, but it's paywalled. I would not do that to him. He has awesome content. That's where I really get all my draft stuff from guys I don't know about too much. I don't really trust Trevor Sikkema, to be honest with you, that much. Hand placement, speed and bend, natural movement, active hands, high pass rush win rate. I mean, this guy just seems very good. I might have to look into him. He looks like a prospect here. 9 sacks, progressively got better. Senior, 6'4", 250. Did he become fluent into his final season, but in his current form, he's shown very active hands, good understanding of pass rushers, and yield consistency. I mean, I like what I see. I like what I see so far. That's not bad at all. Braden Swinson. Let's look at the next one. Jalen Travis. He's not even on PFS big board, dude. All right, so according to Broshmo, if you guys don't know who Broshmo is, he has an amazing draft guide. I just checked his out, and he has him as a 7th round prospect, so that's why picking him at 154, I'm not going to trust it. I trust Broshmo more than any of these other draft experts. So subscribe to Broshmo if you guys haven't already. Awesome draft content over there. We already know about Brashard Smith. Xavier Truss is a guy that you can move on the inside, although he played guard. I'll pull you up a little bit on Truss. Trust the process. 6'7", 320. 6'7". 6'7". No analysis. No analysis for Xavier Truss. Truss is a big boy. He's not great with pass protection, but he's huge. He's 6'7", 320, and he has good leverage. Even though he's 6'7", even though he's at a really tall size, good leverage, good length, right? But he's a guy that's projected to be on the inside, and yeah, he's a good. He should be a good depth piece. So I don't hate this. Let's go back to the mock draft. I don't hate this. I think I'm really liking this Braden Swinson pick. I'm gonna look into him. Don't care too much about off-ball linebacker. If the Giants address it that early, I'll cry. And then Shadur Sanders, Emeka Buka. I mean, all right, I can understand it. I probably just wouldn't go in that direction. You know, I'm looking at like Travis Hunter, Donovan Jackson, or Travis Hunter. Then trade up for Shadur or Abdul Carter and like Darius Alexander, you know, heavy defense or something like that. But I guess that could be fun. It's the sexy pick. Everybody wants quarterbacks. Everybody wants wide receivers. So that being said, what do you guys think of this 7-round mock draft? I really didn't like it towards the end. None of these just make sense. Well, these last 3 picks is just like, okay, whatever. So that being said, leave your thoughts in the comment section below, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Woo!